Welcome back and now tune into the other side of sports. This is the Lock Factory. It's me, it's Aaron. We here working out. Uh we gonna get into it. Before we get into the picks and the locks right now, dog, what you think about Diddy getting locked up, bro? Bama got thousand cases of baby oil in the back room.
That
Bama
ain't
going,
illegal. I don't know
Bama.
what's going on. I don't know nothing.
Hey, dog. Hey.
When the feds come get you, it ain't looking good. But I
It
don't
ain't
know. I don't
looking
have a
good.
clue what's going on.
Yeah. It ain't looking good, bro. That Batman into some freaky things, dog. This Batman got unlimited oil cases. Just dog, yeah, dog. He running his own private
So let me
masseuse.
ask this: Is Bama's using baby oil for lube? Like what? Bama's acting like it's freaky. Is that a thing?
I mean, Batman's use lube. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get in my own personal joint. We got the lube up in here. You know what I'm saying? We
Oh,
got the
you
good
ain't learned.
stuff.
You got to stop.
We got the good stuff. What you mean?
I don't know.
I was just
I
saying,
didn't know
Batman.
Bama's was using baby oil though.
Not baby oil,
That's what
dog.
they said he had 1,000 bottles of
Yeah,
baby oil.
I don't know what he doing with that, dog. That Bama, he must be he must be selling them just on Amazon private supply or something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Let's get into these games for this week. Thursday night, we got the New England. Hold on, before we get into that, we 7 out of 8, Aaron. We lost the game this week. It happens, dog. Now, we ain't lose as many games as we possibly could have. Cause this week was a weird one, bro. It was a weird one for sure. Cause that joint, some of them games and the outcomes, I was like, they sprinkling the funny business on that joint, dog. They sprinkling the funny business. But we lost the game. We had Washington -1.5, Jets -2.5, that cover. Chargers -2.5 cover. And then we had San Francisco. Dog, if I'd have had a history on the drink, we could have bypassed that L. Because apparently the San Francisco 49ers can't beat the Minnesota Vikings to save their life. They haven't beat them Bama's at home in Minnesota in like 20 years, dog. I ain't do the research on that drink, but we lost that game. So right now, our record is 7-8 on the locks. We're gonna get you right though. Ain't that right, Aaron? We're gonna get you right. We're gonna get you
If
right.
they run the tape back from last week, the last thing we said when we gave them the games was take the games individually.
That
So
is
if
what
you
we.
take the games individually, you up 2 games. You welcome.
Yeah, you up 3. 3 out of 4 hit. So you
Right,
up
but one
3.
is a wash. If you
Oh
lose
yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah,
one's a
yeah,
wash. You up
yeah,
2 games. So if you
yeah,
put a
yeah,
hundred
yeah.
on all of them, in theory, you up 200.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, we back this week. New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Jets are favored -6.5. Uh, Aaron Rodgers and them, they look a little bit better. They played Tennessee Titans this past week. They was in a dogfight, dog. If it wasn't for Brees Hall doing his best Randy Moss impersonation, this Bama Brees Hall is special, bro. That Bama Moss, the corner in the back of the end zone, like he was a receiver. 6.5 though, I think that's a little high for New York Jets
Yeah, I'm taking New
against the
England to
New
cover.
England. Yeah, I'm going with New England. New England played Seattle tough. You know,
They're
probably
better.
even did a beast at Seattle, but it
They're
just,
better than people thought they was going to be
mhm.
coming into the season. Like going with Brissett instead of forcing Drake May on the field like some of these other teams did and end up squandering their quarterback. I think was the right decision, and they looking like Mayo might be one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that defense is coming to play. They're stingy. They hard nosed. They're just, you can tell that there's a belief in that building that they can win any of these games. And I think this is a game that, the way Jets had trouble versus Tennessee, I would anticipate and expect them to have trouble against New England as well. So I'm going with New England to cover as well. Chicago Bears at Indianapolis. Indy's favorite -1.5. Uh, I think I'm going to lean with Indianapolis in this one. I know that. I mean, what's the quarterback for Indianapolis?
Caleb. Oh, dang.
Richardson, Anthony Richardson. I know Anthony Richardson like makes mistakes. He does make mistakes, but his special is enough to win the football game versus the Chicago Bears. And I expect an Indianapolis Colts to win. Chicago Bears, and there's a lot of criticism that's going to Caleb Williams, but I said it on the last program I did that it's not really Caleb Williams' fault, bro. He's having these struggles, and I said it before the season, Aaron. And I don't know if you remember, but I was like, I think Caleb Williams will be fine, but I could tell that, and we talked about the hard knock situation, but like the coach don't know what he's talking about. And you can just see the game plans is not fit for him to succeed, no. And if you off script, 80% of your offense is off script, you're not gonna be successful, though. You have to be set up for success. And I just don't think that they've done that for Caleb Williams. And I guess like most coaches do, when you got a special player or a player who has certain abilities, you just feel like they should be able to just compensate for what you lack. Most of these coaches don't even know what they lack or are deficient in. So it's just all problematic, though. But the Chicago Bears, I mean, there's criticism getting heaved on Caleb Williams. Do you think it's fair criticism, or what are your thoughts on
So I mean, I think criticism is fair when it's criticism and not hate or trying to spin narratives like most of the media does.
it?
I think he was bad the first game. I don't think he was nearly as bad, even though he had the turnovers last game. He came out looking really sharp, and he tries to do too much. I think this is part of the learning curve on what you did in college and had success with
Mhm,
will or won't work in the league, and you got to kind of figure that out by going through it, trying some of the stuff. And I think that's where he is.
mhm.
The part that you know, he does, however, rely too much on the off script stuff. Like you can't play backyard football in the NFL. Even if you are good enough to do that, coaches won't allow it because they need the system and the offense to be what generates the points. So they won't allow you to run an entire offense off of like just running around playing like Fran Tarkenton. They just won't allow it in 2024.
Mhm.
So and neither will immediate. So I think he's gonna have to get better at being on script. And part of that comes from the interior of their old line getting better.
Yeah,
Cause
that old line looking
yeah.
dicey.
So they
Yeah.
got, they got the weapons and everything on the outside. They just gotta probably have to make some moves to figure out something with that old line.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about they should have kept Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. I'm like, come on, people, just relax. We 2 games in.
2 games in.
Like, you gotta relax. You gotta relax. And while I agree that they probably should have kept Justin Fields and just retool, they didn't do what they should have done. Is fire Eberflus. That's what they should have did and
It's so
started
ignorant.
afresh.
It's so ignorant when the WMEs, like you cannot have a lame duck coach with a rookie quarterback because if he doesn't end up proving himself in that year, you fire him and then you automatically have that rookie quarterback have to have 2 OCs and 2 head coaches in that short span of time. Like it's just most times it's not going to bode out well to have to keep firing guys and bringing other guys in. Like if you decide you to the point where you were going to trade Justin Fields, you should have fired everybody in the building and started from scratch.
Everybody, everybody. And so this is what you get, dog. You don't take a bath and you just spray cologne on, you still gonna stink, bro. And it just is what it is. So I got Indianapolis minus the 1.5. What are you going with?
leaning towards Indianapolis too, but Chicago's 1-1. Like I think Bama, it's just a Vogue story to jump on and act like, oh, see, we told you this, and that. He'll be fine.
Mhm.
I haven't seen nothing from him to make me think he's gonna end up being Bo Nix or one of these other garbage Bamas that they got out here.
Okay. All right. New York Giants at the Cleveland Browns. Browns are favorite -7. Giants, I don't know if they signed a kicker this week, but they essentially lost the game because they didn't have a kicker.
Yeah,
And Daniel Jones is their quarterback. But I think even with all things kept the same, if they had a kicker, I think they
they win
win.
by 2 scores.
Yeah. So I just, say what you want about the play call and say what you want about Daniel Jones's performance. Like, I thought they played well enough to beat Washington, and just Washington had a kicker and Giants didn't. And that was the difference maker. That was the difference maker, dog. This game versus Cleveland, Deshaun Watson played much better in this game. He looked, just more settled. It could be the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars pass rush just really wasn't there. It was kind of non-existent for most of the game, and he was able to, make plays downfield and kind of do what he wanted. So I don't know if they're 7-point favorites, but
Yes,
probably.
yeah. Double-digit score. This is gonna be ass whooping. Washington is just so bad, so bad. Could not get pressure on Daniel Jones. One
Okay.
thing Cleveland can do
Cleveland. Mhm.
is get pressure, and that's gonna make Daniel Jones a complete different player. And so, double digits though, 2
This
scores.
is one of
This
the
gonna be an
locks.
ass thrashing. This gonna look like old Deshaun.
Okay. Okay. I'm going with Cleveland. All right. Green Bay Packers at Tennessee Titans. Titans are favored -2.
Hold on, what?
Green Bay,
Lie.
Tennessee Titans are favorite -2. Green Bay, Malik Willis was out that joint. He did just enough to move the football down the field. Offense was able to score. Defense was sharp. Um, Tennessee, I don't know when people gonna come to reality, dog. Will Levis is some trash. I don't know how to break it down to you, but he's just not good. And I mean, they're just gonna have to find out the hard way. But I don't. I got Green Bay. I mean, Tennessee's defense is good. I'm not even gonna hold you. Tennessee has a pretty stout defense that can keep them in the game. But I don't know about this one. I honestly, personally, I probably would just stay away from this game. Because I just think too many variables and anything could probably happen in it. So I would stay away from this one. Philadelphia Eagles at the New Orleans Saints. Saints are favorite -2.5. Do we want to talk about Philly's debacle on Monday night, Aaron?
Dog, Sirianni. How much time he got left in Philly? He's a joke. This Batman is a joke. I don't know how he got the job. The interview he had when he got the job was a fail. I never seen anything like it, really.
Yeah, that clock management at the end of the game was some of the worst clock management I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even sizing. Like, it's some of the worst clock management I've ever seen in my life.
They had
You're
less
under
than
2 minutes.
1% chance of losing that game.
Yeah. Like, yeah. They botched it. Say what you want about Saquon dropping the ball. It shouldn't even came down to that. Shouldn't have been passing the ball to begin with. And I just, the boneheaded mistakes. I mean, that team looks completely different without AJ Brown, and it's evident that they need him. But yeah, just the poor coaching. I'm surprised. I'm shocked because I don't even know Kellen Moore to be that. Like, when you're trying to get a job as a head coach in the league, stuff like that is what keeps you out of those head coaching jobs. Because the play calls down with 2 minutes left, to me, just were mind-boggling. So New Orleans Saints, on the other hand, has been frying. They whooped Dallas. They whooped the Carolina Panthers. They look like they clicking on all cylinders. They coming back home. Uh, uh Philly can't really generate pressure either. I might have to go with New Orleans in this one, Aaron.
What's the spread? 2.5.
2.5 in favor of NO.
Um,
AJ Brown comes back. That changes it a little bit, but I don't know,
I'm
bro.
gonna go Philly.
Okay. All right. Philly it is. LA Chargers at Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored minus 2.5. I'm going with Pittsburgh. Chargers, from what I saw, like they're not that good. Granted, they beat a bad team. They beat some bad teams, and when you beat bad teams, you kind of look better than you are. But
Is
I
Herbert out
just
this
saw
week?
Herbert's playing.
I'm gonna
Herbert's
go
playing, but
Chargers.
he hasn't looked good to me. Herbert's looked regular to me. Um,
I'm gonna go
I
Chargers.
think that front four that Pittsburgh had is going to really put pressure on the Chargers. Um, yeah, I'm going with Pittsburgh. So we split there. Houston Texans at the Minnesota Vikings. Houston is favored minus 1.5. Vikings coming off a big win versus San Francisco. Uh, Justin Jefferson had quad injury in this game, but it looks like he's going to be fine. He's going to play. Sam Darnold played pretty decent. Uh, they beat a good football team in the San Francisco 49ers. And here they are playing against the Houston Texans. I think Texans should win this game outright, but I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota gave them a run for their money.
I would.
Confidence is one of those things that you can't really quantify. Like when teams feel confident, like they can beat anybody, especially coming off a big win versus San Francisco. I mean, it could just spell disaster for Houston Texans team.
I got
They're
Houston
dealing
on
with
lock.
injury. They're dealing with injuries themselves in the form of Joe Mixon, but he should probably play. But that's something else to consider. I mean, all Houston's offense is on point. Their defense played well versus the Chicago Bears, but they show some vulnerabilities. You going with Houston as a lock?
Lock.
I'm going with Minnesota. Oh, that's where it get tight. Denver Broncos at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are favored minus 6.5. Denver they're just not a good football team.
Poorly coached, bad quarterback. They're gonna be picking in the top 5.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Minus 6.5. Tampa Bay. Baker's been balling, dog.
Yeah, this is squad.
Yeah, Baker's been balling. And you can tell like their belief in him has like actually helped him produce. Um, I'm going with Tampa Bay minus the 6.5.
I'm gonna go Tampa.
Okay. Carolina Panthers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are favored minus 7. Carolina Panthers are starting Andy Dalton in place of Bryce Young. Bryce Young was benched. Aaron, I think this might be the end of the road for Bryce.
You called it too. Like I felt like it was like less than 24 hours before it happened. You was like, yeah, he ain't gonna finish this. He gonna be benched by week 6. I was like, man, they gonna let that man finish his contract. Then you get the they benched the Batman
Oh,
2 games in. Like this is absurd. Like they need
dog.
to retract the Carolina Panthers from the NFL and put an expansion team somewhere else. This dude David Tepper is a clown, and he making a mockery. Like Bama's talked about Dan. Dan wasn't on this. Like
Yeah.
this stuff is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. And I just the organization set him up to fail, bro.
And it's and another thing that pisses me off because it reminds me like same thing with RG3, same thing with Dwayne Haskins, same thing with some of these other black quarterbacks. Like these coaches will come in and say, "Oh, we can fix it, we can make it work." Like I know that's your guy. We can make it work. They get the job, and then they be like, "Oh, this nigga, sorry, we can't. I can't do nothing with him." That should be an indictment on you as a coach if you can't do nothing with a player who accomplished as much as Bryce Young did at Alabama, the
Yeah.
number 1 overall pick. If you're saying you can't do anything with him, to me, that's an indictment on you as a coach. And it's prioritizing the coach's arc of development over the players, which to me is problematic and selfish. So as an owner, if Obama came to me 2 games in talking about he wanted to bench the guy who he said he could fix, I'd be inclined to fire him out the gate. Like, he doesn't know
Yeah.
what he's doing.
Yeah. I'll put pressure, like, for sure. Like, you told me when I hired you, you could get this guy right. So
Right.
what's the problem?
Right.
What aren't you able or capable of doing? Like, and
Right.
granted, I know you got guys in the locker room, and that narrative, you got to
You got
balance that
sorry
narrative
guys
with
in the
them.
locker room. I'm tired of hearing
Okay.
about sorry locker rooms, though. Losing teams with losers all in the locker room, and you worried about losing the locker room? They already lost. I'm not worried about nobody in the Carolina locker room. You kidding me?
Yeah, no. Well, listen. 7-point favorites in favor of Las Vegas.
That's a hook, though.
I got Carolina covering the 7, though.
Me too.
I don't got Las Vegas running away like these
Smashing them like
Bama's
that.
ain't.
Yeah.
They ain't Kansas City now. They caught what do we call them, sleeping, bro. They played down to the level of their competition.
Right. They was down the whole game. So
yeah. So yeah, no, I'm not falling for that hook. I got Carolina. Miami Dolphins at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favorite -6.5. Miami without their quarterback, Tua. Report came out that he's not planning to retire. So he just gonna go until he just drooling out his mouth, dog. He don't care. He just gonna play until it.
Bama's be broke drooling out their mouth. At least he about to cop 140
Right.
something more mil. I ain't retired either. My brain could be scrambled eggs in 20 years. Right now, today, I'm a rich guy, and I'm gonna keep collecting them checks. You crazy?
Dog, if you the head coach or you the organizer, you own the organization, you can't put him out there in good conscience, Aaron.
If the doctors clear him, yes, you can. It's like anything else in life. Bama sacrifice. If you want to be a policeman, you know it's a certain amount of risk. A fireman,
That's true.
Bama says thugging, know it's certain risk. You go die, go to jail. It's people get choices in life. Bama's take these risks of life and death, making 40 grand, 50 grand a year. And this Bama about to make 40 million a year or 50 million a year. And Bama's worried about him.
But he already got paid. He already got the bread. Right. So
and he got to keep playing to keep getting that bread. I'm suiting up. Now he got to be smarter and stop getting his bell rung, because he go dolphin hands. He just get touched.
Dolphin hands again,
his dolphin hands. Like that hit to me. Well, the way his neck bent was kind of weird. He like a crash dummy kind of. He don't know how to fall.
No, but his brain already his brain already got the whisker scramble on the joint. That's why he can't make.
He got to stop running. Yeah, just take a knee. Like stay in the pocket, throw the ball, don't run no more.
Dog, but it's the thing. He like 1, 2. I don't even know, dog. That Bama don't even gotta get hit. He can get a shoulder bump, and that Bama might just be like, he might start talking. Yeah, it's gonna clear.
Suit me up, coach. I'm ready.
All right. Well, this week he out for sure.
Skylar Thompson.
Seattle -6.5.
What's the over/under in this game?
Under 42.
Oh my God. This is a lock. This is the lockest lock that I ever heard on the spreads. This joint is going on a parlay for sure.
Okay.
So the over on that one. And then I'm gonna take the Dolphins to cover.
Really? You gonna rock with Skylar?
I'm not really rocking with Skylar. I'm rocking with Mike Daniels.
Okay.
I think they'll manage, and I think they'll be able to score at 21, 24. I think Seattle will be somewhere around 27 to 30.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could agree with that. I'm gonna go with Miami as well.
But the over's a lock, because Miami's gonna score more points than you think. Seattle's gonna give you 24. All you need is 18 from Miami.
Okay.
Daniels gonna give you that.
Okay.
It's a lot.
All right. Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. Detroit is favorite -3 at Arizona. This is a
They did much better with the spreads this week, though. The first 2 weeks they were slipping.
Mm-hmm.
This week you could tell they got the
the
senior
code.
level
They got
guys
that.
on there. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Singular. They're like, okay, we seen enough.
we
All right,
got them.
let's.
They put money in the they putting deposits in. We got them. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Arizona played. They played good this past weekend, but again, they played the Rams. And Rams is not all world, but Kyler Murray ran all over them. James
Marvin
Conner
Harrison
ran all
Jr.
over them. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 3 touchdowns in the first half.
looking like
I
Randy
mean,
on like 3
looking like
catches for
looking
150
like
and 2
Randy.
touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't think Arizona duplicates that though versus Detroit.
I don't think Detroit is as good as people think they are based on their performance last year. I think there's just this expectation that you just show up and it just happens again, like they Kansas City or something. Your boy Ben Johnson out here. So glad they didn't hire him as their head coach. But give me Arizona to win, not just to cover.
Okay, Arizona to win and not just to cover. Okay, I'm gonna take Arizona too, but I'm probably gonna tease it to like. I'm gonna tease it to 7, just for my comfort level. Because I think they might win by 4, but I don't think they'll win by 7. I think Detroit could win by 4 points, but I don't think they'll win
in Arizona, right?
Yeah, it's in Arizona.
Okay,
yeah. So, all right. San Francisco 49ers at the LA Rams. San Francisco's minus. San Fran is favored -7.5 in LA. LA's dealing with a plethora of injuries. Puka Nakua's out. Cooper Kupp is doubtful. I mean, it's gonna be the Kyron Williams show. Maybe Tutu Atwell get a lot of looks in Winnington, the young undrafted rookie receiver they got. It might be a thrashing. I'm going with San Francisco.
I'm gonna go San Fran too.
It's a divisional match.
Yeah,
and it could go a lot of different ways, but I think San Fran is a little pissed off about their loss to the Minnesota, so they'll try to right the ship against LA. Baltimore Ravens at the Dallas Cowboys. The Ravens are favored -1. This is my lock. Baltimore Ravens are going to win by more than one point. Dallas Cowboys is not that good, ladies and gentlemen. They are really trying to utilize the fan base. Dallas, this is an easy pick for me.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens. They can't go 0-3.
Yeah, Ravens not gonna go 0-3. And Dallas, I know their home record is stellar, but after they got whooped, I know people are probably anticipating, their team is just not that good, people. It's not that they got whooped because they didn't play good enough. They got whooped because their team is not that good. They have no running backs. They have one receiver in CeeDee Lamb. Brandon Cooks is a one-trick pony. Dak Prescott is the black Kirk Cousins. It's not good, people.
Speaking of Kirk, your man went on prime time with a game-winning drive at the end.
Hey, listen, that's the next game on the docket. Kansas City Chiefs at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons get a Monday night win on the back of Kirk Cousins. It was good to see Kirk get a W. People think I hate Kirk. I don't hate on Kirk. I like Kirk. I'm like,
I don't.
The guy, he's serviceable, bro. He gonna go in the Hall of Fame for the best stat padding quarterback ever to live, bro.
The best bank robbing stat pad.
No, I mean the thing is though, the Bama Kurt, you gotta give him his credit. The Bama drove him down the field and got a touchdown
on prime time.
On prime time with the chip stacked against them, bro. And it's really the Eagles' fault, but still, I'm not taking nothing away from that man, dog. He got a W. But this week,
he did more to keep the Redskins in first place playing for the Falcons than he did when he played for Washington.
There you go. I ain't never seen a comeback win.
I
But
just
this
knew a
week,
pick was coming on that drive. But he
hey,
showed up, got a touchdown.
he showed up, dog. Got a touchdown. Kansas City Chiefs at Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are underdogs at home 3.5.
What?
Kansas City is favored 3.5
It's
points.
a lot. This is a lot. 3.5.
Yes.
It's going on a parlay.
Kansas City. I'm taking Kansas City.
Who never covers, but they covering this week.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City minus the 3.5. And then Monday night, we got 2 games, Aaron.
We should go.
Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills. Bills are favored minus 6.5 against Jacksonville. I don't know, for some reason, this joint feels real fishy.
The Bills are favored by 6.5.
Bills are favored by 6.5.
Yeah, give me Jacksonville.
Something smells fishy about this joint, dog. It's real fishy. I want to go with Buffalo because I just think they're a superior team to Jacksonville. Jacksonville can't get no pressure. They can't. They're not generating pressure. Their offense is lackluster. Buffalo's defense is better. Buffalo's offense has deficiencies and vulnerabilities, but James Cook went off for 3 touchdowns last week. Versus a Miami Dolphins team, I thought I'm going with Buffalo, dog. I'm going with Buffalo minus the 6.5.
I got Jacksonville.
And then the final game, Washington Commanders, York Washington Commanders, versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are favored minus 7.5.
I'm gonna go Bengals.
Wow. Bengals minus the 7.5.
The Skins have probably the worst defense in the league.
Their defense is bad, bro. It's
You
bad.
you can't have no pass rush and a terrible secondary. So you're gonna see record number like Daniel Jones is ass. So he missed a bunch of those bombs where they could have connected and had 3 more touchdowns easily. Plus, they didn't have a kicker. Cincinnati isn't playing on all cylinders right now, but this is one of those get right games where against this secondary,
yeah, and especially after they got, I want to say, robbed against Kansas City, because I think that the play was deemed warranted a play call, a flag on that pass interference. I think it warranted it. But to watch Cincinnati in that game, which in my opinion, they dominated the entire game, to then lose that way, it kind of feels like they were robbed in a sense. Even though I think the play warranted, a flag, but they really dominated the entire game for the most part. And they had command of the game. They caused Pat Mahomes into turnovers. And I just was like, they got this game. And just to let it slip away, I feel like this one is a must-win game for them. Otherwise, they would go 0-3. And I don't see them going 0-3. Now, I do see a space where the Washington Commanders could cover because, fluky things happen. But I'm kind of with you on this one, Aaron. I think Cincinnati should cover this by the 7.5 margin. I think they should win by 10 points. I think 31-21 will be the final score.
Yeah, and I'm not confident Washington can get to 21 against a team that can, one, score and put pressure on their offense to get touchdowns instead of field goals. Mm-hmm. And I also think, when you're on those teams where the offense can't score and it's 100% on the defense that give up no buckets, sometimes you get frustrated and then you can give up plays just based on being dejected and not having confidence in your offense's ability to hold up their end. Like Washington all season has struggled to get the ball in the end zone without Jaden having a run or some fluke happening. The O-line, every time they get in the red zone, they taking a dumb penalty. Mm-hmm. They just seem really disorganized. And I still don't like the play calling that I've seen so far.
I don't like the
lazy, vanilla, uninspiring. It doesn't look like they're setting anything up. So
they had a few plays that I thought were, I'm like, yeah, more of that. Like the the back screen that they threw to Austin Eckler. I
Yeah,
thought the timing of that was perfect and how that was constructed. But you're right. Overall, it's not a real like systematic approach to how they're using Jaden, and Terry's still not getting the football to the volume that I think he should be getting it.
not enough crossers.
Not
It's
enough
things you
cross,
can
not
do.
stack formations and like stuff that you can do to get your guy to football. They're not doing it. And I think against a team like this, who has another dog and Jamar Chase, they in for one, bro. If they can't guard a rookie and neighbors, Jamar Chase is gonna have a field day.
Right,
So
with Daniel Jones throwing the ball. St. Juice
yeah.
is like, y'all keep bullying
He
Forbes.
got a fumble recovery. He got a fumble for us though, Aaron.
He
I'm like,
a
hey,
DB.
listen,
I don't care about
hey,
fumble recovery.
listen. I'm not. If you gonna get cooked and be on easy bake oven all day, at least do something that help us. Get a turnover, strip sack, something. Do something.
He gets baked every play. He 15 yards off. Like this soft zone, I'm sick of it. Y'all don't have a pass rush to keep playing this soft zone. Like, stop it. These Bama's 10, 15 yards off every play. And they just kept throwing that same comeback to neighbors every time because they knew St. Juice was off too far and he was too scared to play up on him. Like, I'm tired of seeing this secondary, dog. They gonna get flambéed, 35 at least. That's on the low end.
Okay, all right. To recap, our locks are over in Miami, Dolphins, and Seattle. That's a lot. We got you got Kansas City -3.5. That's a lot. We got Arizona.
That wasn't a lot.
That wasn't a lot. Okay, we got Carolina to cover against Las Vegas
That wasn't a
+7.
lot.
Okay, we got Denver versus Tampa Bay -6.5. You got
That's gonna be a
Houston.
game time decision. Yeah, Houston is a lot.
Houston -1.5.
Those are
Okay.
3 on the parlay.
All right. So those are the 3 on the parlay. Miami over, Houston, and KC minus the 3.5.
We might have a couple more game time decisions that we'll release on the IG.
We'll put the locks on the actual in the description, so you'll be able to go and see the description on the YouTube video for the locks. So if you go ahead
after this week, when we hit these 3 locks, right? Another parlay. I'm not putting out no more locks until it's over 1,000 subscribers. So y'all gonna have to ask Harold for I'm not giving y'all nothing else for free. This is free money. Bama's is cashing out thousands, hundreds of dollars. We not giving out no more.
Y'all heard it. We got it. Hey, you got to get the numbers up. Shout out my man Wes. Everybody who rock with the Law Factory that's sharing the content. We appreciate you. Shake my hand. We appreciate you.
No more freebies.
We're gonna try to get all we asking. We're not asking for no bread in return. You ain't even got to drop money in the Cash App, nothing. Just get us subscribers. That's it. That's the currency we want. It's that easy. Follow us at OSS 980, Other Side of Sports. Shout out to Wes Buffy, Lance J, everybody who rock with us heavy, and we out.